Welcome to Church Office Online's video tutorial on our attendance features. Setting up your program to service and ministry attendance is easy. Our program provides you with the ability to enter and track attendance for services and classes of groups no matter their size. You can track attendance for one-time or recurring services, meetings, and events, and produce reports for presentation and study. We provide both our main program and our check-in utility program to allow you quick entry attendance features that can be made available to unlimited users with specific attendance access or by greater access levels. We have also made available printable check-in sheets and attendance roll call sheets, which can be used and later entered into the system. You can also go paperless by simply checking them in using your iPad or other tablet with our mobile check-in utility. Let's overview the steps required to take attendance for services and ministries. Let's begin first with setting up attendance for services. First, sign into your program. Setting up attendances for services first requires that you enter all households and individuals. Once you've done that, you'll want to go to admin in your program. In admin, you'll want to go to select Manage Services. In Manage Services, you can add services, giving them a name, a description, as well as a service time. And you can also set one of your services as a default service, which later can be used in list as being the first service that generally is selected. Once you manage your services, then all you need to do is then go to Calendar and select the services calendar. Once you are able to select the services calendar, then all you have to do is simply click on a time and date upon which you will have that particular service. You can enter in the information within the first block, or if you want to, you can select options. In options, it will allow you the opportunity to select a start time and end time, and also a reminder. You can also select a ministry which might be associated with your services, such as a ministry like the worship team, something like that. You'll also be able to select the room in which you use. Of course, most will understand that room will be the sanctuary. You'll also be able to set any resources you might need, put in a description. Now understand that when you do include a description here, that when you post your calendar using our website plugins to your website, or if it is viewed in the individual access program for your members, then they will, if they mouse over that particular event, that meeting or service on your calendar, then they will be able to see what is in its description. So you might be able to add the description of who's speaking or special music that's being done. You can also set services up on reoccurrences, which is a good thing. Most of the time, people will choose a weekly setting for services, plus indicate the day, generally like on a Sunday, and with no date, no end date. And that pretty much means as long as you continue to move through your calendar, you'll see those services coming up on every Sunday or whatever date that you set. Once you do that, then all you need to do is click Save. And that's basically all there is to setting up those services. Now you'll be able to take attendance. Attendance is easily achieved by just simply going into attendance, and you'll have three options in which you can select attendance. You can select attendance through by individual attendance, by household attendance, and by general attendance. Individual attendance will allow you to mark each individual as having attended just simply by entering the service, the attendance date, and then you can filter by individuals in your church, but generally all people will be present, and all you have to do is click on this. You do not have to click Save afterwards, as both these records will end up saving here and indicate that they have been saved. Once they are saved, then you can go ahead and move on to your other types of ways in which you can enter attendance. Again, notice that these aren't being saved right now because the attendance date is not selected. If you selected attendance date and then say the attendance, the service, like a morning worship time, then now when you click click it, you'll notice it instantly saves. So make sure that you do place a service and attendance in here in order for these to be saved. And again, like I said, you do not have to go back through and save this after you're done. The other way I mentioned to you can do attendance is not just by individual but by household. Household is if you see an entire household coming in, all you have to do is click one of the households, and then all households will be every individual within a household will be saved. And again, have to remember, first put in the date before you click the household, and once you do, then if you click it, then that entire household, all those present in that household, will be saved in as far as their attendance. Next thing you do is not only household, but we also have a general attendance section. And general attendance section is largely for, again, you enter a service time and a date, and you will enter in a number of people whom, one, attended the service, but who were not included in individual or household attendance, and those might be visitors or people whom you do not have information in your system as of yet, and so all you have to do is enter in a number and submit that number. Some churches do not take individual household attendance, and therefore you would use this as a means by which to record a general amount of those whom were counted for that particular service. However, you don't need to do that to the full. If you have say 100 people who were entered into individual attendance, 23 were entered into general attendance, and on the dashboard that will be reflected by totaling those two up in the particular service that you're taking totals for or attendance for. So that's all there is for service attendance. I would also encourage you to go to our blog site. We have a special a blog article for how to take attendance, great ideas for how to take attendance in your church services, and so I'll display the blog address right here, and I just encourage you to visit that at some time. And you can also go to our this tutorial later on and again copy that down. Let's now look at how to set up attendance for ministries. First of all, setting up attendance for ministries will require, one, that again, like households, you'll have to set up, enter all individuals and households that you need to within your church. Second of all, you'll need to go to church, and you'll need to add ministries to your church if you have not done already. All you'll need to do, if we go here and view some of the ministries that have been added to this program, you see there are quite a few ministries that have been added, and if you view those ministries, you'll see that people have been added to those ministries. When you add a ministry to the program, all you do is click Add a Ministry, put in the name, and then basically all you need to do is click Add. And once you do that, that creates a ministry. If you want to later, you can come back in and go to View Edit those ministries, and you can actually edit a ministry like the BCC ministry, and you can add additional people here just simply by putting in a search, putting in the name of a person, the last name, say. You search here, and it'll give you names of people, and all you do is just click some of these people here and say this is a women's ministry, a Bible study women's ministry, and then all you have to do is just click the ministry role, which would be attender, and click Assign. That's one way to place people into those ministries. Another way to place people in the ministries is to go to the individual records and say if we want to put in Laura Abbey into this ministry, all we do need to do is manage her record and go down to the tab where you'll see ministries, and in that tab you can just say add a new ministry, and you'll be able to select from this here the BCC the BCC ministry, and you can select a tender role or a leader role and then just update. And that's all you need to do in order to assign people to ministry. Now this is important because when you later on go to take attendance for a particular ministry, it will give you a short list of all those people who are in that ministry, as well as provide you with the the church list if there are people who attended the ministry who normally that are not yet assigned to it. And so I want to encourage you to make use of assigning people to ministries. Once you've assigned people to ministries, then the next thing you need to do, like services, is to place them on a calendar. All you do there is you go here, we suggest you use for ministries a meeting calendar. And once you select a meeting calendar, much like we did with services, you can click on a date, like say Wednesday, and they're going to have a Bible study at 10 a.m. And it's going to again give you the option of just giving it a name and then hit save. But we encourage you to click options here and to be able to take advantage of the fuller types of selections that are available to you. Again, enter the name into it, the start and end time. No reminders necessary here. We can go down, we can select from the ministries that we created. We can select the women's ministry or small group ministry, and once you've done that, in fact I haven't selected women's ministry yet, we'll just put a welcome team on it. And then you can select a room, say that they'll be meeting in, say fellowship hall, and any room resources, and both fellowship room resources and church resources can be managed by going to admin and looking at you'll be able to include that in managing room resources and managing church resources. And here they're going to be using, say, audio video card. You can write in a description here, and we're going to put this out with, instead of an end date, we're going to go weekly. It's going to be on a Wednesday as selected here, and it's going to end after say 20 sessions, and that's quite a few. And as you'll notice as you move through the calendar, if we see the month calendar here, we should be able to view those as we move through the month. And so that's what is required in order to take attendance. Now you can go to attendance, and to take an attendance for a meeting, you go here and select manage attendance meeting, and then you will select the meeting is already selected here. And then you'll say attendance for, say, the 11th, and you select BCC. It's already pre-selected for you when it comes up with those events that are taking place on that day. Finally, after that, all you have to do is just select the people. As I mentioned to you, you have two lists, all individuals or ministry members. Select ministry members is the best way to quickly get people checked out, and we're just going to check these people here into this ministry, and as you notice, they're saving automatically. If all the records don't turn green, don't worry about it. Just make sure the checks are there, and they are checked. You can also check the attendance of any given record. Say, for instance, like Mary Demotry. If you go to church here and you view her record, you can view her attendance by just simply going to here, select D for her, the last name area, and here we go. Manage Mary, and Mary's individual record. Now you'll be able to see that she is attended this. Just simply hit attendance, and you'll see that that is recorded right here, 9/11, and then Women's BCC Study. And so I'd like to encourage you to look at our reports section. We have several attendance reports available for you. Just simply go to reports, and you'll see these reports here. Check-in sheets, as we talked about, event attendance, meeting attendance, service attendance, service attendance totals. The visitors follow-up is another great tool here to follow up those visitors that attended services. And also, if you want to go to attendance, there's additional reports here in the overview, and also absentee tracking, which will allow you to track those who were not present for particular services as well. As always, I encourage you to use our help section. We have 4 video tutorials. I'll show them right here. Our check-in overview video tutorial, our child check-in video tutorial, our general check-in video tutorial, and also our video tutorial for school years and grades, and particularly promoting of grades. And so I want to encourage you to take that. Also, if you have any questions, please contact support at Church Office Online. Thank you.